Welcome everyone. Today we are broadcasting live from Mzee Petro's house in the great Maasai Steppe of Tanzania. A huge welcome to our global audience and of course our Tanzania viewers. Karibuni sana. For the last month we've been celebrating lions as part of World Lion Day. And today I'm very excited to bring you to a living wall and to a conversation between two of our conservation heroes. So let's go and join my colleagues. Elvis, sopai.
Eva.
Yamat, takwanya. You go. So today I have the great honor of introducing Elvis Kisimir. Elvis has been with African people and wildlife for many, many years as the head of our human-wildlife conflict program. And he is known as the man behind the living walls, but today he's in front of one. Elvis you can catch on the Associated Press on Lion Patrol with his team of Warriors for Wildlife. You can see him on Inside Africa in CNN. We'll be posting some of those links below in case you'd like to check them out. And we also have Yamat Lengai with us today from our Monitoring and Evaluation Unit. She's the lady behind the data. She has a knack for working with data and helping to ensure that we're having the greatest impact with our work. She's been identified by WildAid as a conservation hero, and you can also check out her in a wonderful video produced by WildAid. So we'll put those links down below as well. So with that, guys, let's talk a little bit about living walls. Elvis, what can you tell us about a living wall? What are they?
Living wall is a predator-proof boma or fence made of growing poles, see, and chain. It's very easy to make this type of a boma. You only cut down the branches of Comifera africana. You plant them around, then you install a chain link. Why we install a living wall in this boma? The owner of this boma, Mr. Petro, have been reporting a lot of conflict in his boma. That's why we installed this living wall. And the other reason is why we installed this living wall in this boma is because in this area there is a pride of lions down there. You see the Great Hill. So this lion used to live here for many years. So they used to attack livestock inside the boma before the installation of the living wall. But now the livestock in this boma are safe.
And it's not only this boma, it's not only this area which has the conflicts of the attacks of the livestock, but also around this landscape. From our data which we usually receive from the field, we see a lot of conflicts, a lot of attacks happening. It's about 40,000 of attacks happening.
4,000?
4,000. 4,000 of attacks happening. And because of that, now we have installed the living wall, and we installed the living wall according to prioritization. And we do the prioritization according to the data which we usually receive from the field. And so we highlighted the points where the attacks happen in the boma, and then we highlighted as the hotspots from our ArcGIS platform. And then where the attacks happen in the boma, we highlighted and put as a red dot, so it's the hotspots. So we are prioritizing according to the dots, and give them a high priority to install the living wall where there is more and frequent attacks. And because of that, we have installed the living wall. Now we have about 1,200 and above of the living wall around the landscape, and also about 16,000 of people who are benefiting from the living wall. And we have planted trees 1,000 144,000 of trees planted, and we are still getting a lot of requests for the living wall. So people need more living walls in this landscape.
As Yamat said, even though we have 1,200 living wall across our landscapes, still we are receiving numbers of requests. As you know, we Maasai, we don't have boundaries. Whenever a Maasai hears there is a solution of protecting predators from killing the livestock in the boma, that information is spread very easily. So we are receiving a lot of requests. Everyone wants a living wall, but I'm very sure that we cannot afford installing a living wall to everyone. We normally focus on the areas where there is a lion, where there is a frequent attack, and where we can save the lions because of the people who are retaliating and killing these lions.
And I know that living walls are in high demand, like you say, and community members contribute 25% of the cost of a living wall. But I want to go back to that 144,000 trees. That's a lot of trees to plant,
Yes.
Elvis. And you can see here, there's a little bit of growth on the tree. But it's the height of the dry season right now. So what happens to these trees when it rains? And tell us a little bit more about the process of constructing a living wall.
As I said that from the beginning, living wall is made up of growing poles and chain link. Here in Maasai Steppe, most of our living walls are made up of Commiphora africana and chain link. But this type of the trees, this species, is very unique because you cut them during the dry season and you put it somewhere for a while, at least 2 weeks, then you come and plant them in the dry season. As you see, this boma is 5 years old now. See, the height was this much when we planted. Now you can see how higher it is.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so your data is really showing, Yamat, that there's an impact for livestock, that conflict is disappearing at the living wall. But what are we also learning about the big cats and about the lions? I know the warriors, it's incredible. They're sending in data from the field all the time. What is that data telling us?
We can also see from the data which we are receiving from the field. And the data shows that at the past, the warriors just move around and trying to find the tracks of the lions. But now they can physically see the lion and take the picture right on the spot. So that means that the lions are back in this landscape. And we can just see them and we can hear every time the lion roaring around these areas. Because at the past, we can just hear like 1 month and then up to maybe 2 months passes and then you can even hear again the roaring of lions. But now the data shows that there are many of lions moving around. So we can see that the lions are back now. They are moving into every area. And we can learn from our Tarangire Lion project that it shows that the time lion spent outside the park is almost 50 to 50. The time spent outside the park and the time spent inside the park, because it is about 43% up to 50% of the lion spent outside the park. So we can see that the lion are moving around and the lion are near about this landscape. So it's not only about the park, that's where people can go and see the lions. Also around this village, you can see, even today I just heard a lion roaring around the place where we live. And it makes everyone happy to see that and to hear that.
It's true that lions are back. About 9 to 10 years ago, when we started the project, it was very rare even to see the the tracks of the lions when collecting the data. But nowadays, you only see, it's very easy to see the lions physically, and people are calling us. People are letting us know there is a lion in certain area. While you are going to this area, other person is calling you the other direction. There is also the other pride in this area. So we are happy to see the lions are back.
It sounds like you're busy.
Yes.
And as both of you are community members from the Maasai Steppe, Elvis, you're from Narakau, Yamat, you're from Lower Soit. How do you feel seeing lions return to this landscape? Because you both grew up here. How does that feel to you?
To me, I feel really good. And not only me, even my fellow women from these communities, they feel happy because due to the projects done the lions, because of lions, we have seen a lot of women now. They have engaged into different activities which they benefit from, like the beekeeping projects groups. Women are doing the beekeeping projects. They are doing beadwork instead of only keeping them busy because at the past, women are the one who go to cut down trees and the shrubs for the repairing of the boma. But nowadays, women are strong. They are doing their business. They are doing the activities which they benefit from. They are doing beadwork, and they can sell to the tourists and to everyone who needs to buy the beads. And also, they are doing projects like the beekeeping projects. A lot of women now are doing beekeeping projects, and they are benefiting from it.
I think that's interesting, Yamat, because often when we talk about living walls, we talk about the impact for the livestock owner. It's often the man, but you're saying that the women actually contribute to the construction of the corral and that there is even a positive impact for women with living walls.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, from my side, it's almost the same story because when we were growing, there was no lions in this area, and when we started working, for me, I felt I was thinking, how can we manage? Because there are no lions in this area, and people were asking why doing like this, But we started very slow, educating the community why we are doing conservation, especially for lions, because people really hate lion during that time because they lost numbers of their livestock from lions. So we started educating them. Also, we put some living wall pilots around the villages, and they keep on following and asking the owners, the pilot owners, are really this boma working? And the owner were informing the whole Maasai that really this boma are working. As we put more living walls in these areas, people, the level of the tolerance from the community went up. That's why we managed to bring the lion back.
And if you're interested to see some of the data, it's really interesting. We recently published a story map just to show a little bit more of the daily life and work of Elvis and the team. And you can actually see the impact of the living walls as we install it on the landscape. But we've been working here in the Maasai Steppe for a long time. More recently, we've begun to expand our efforts across wider landscapes of northern Tanzania. And as we enter new places, conflict is still high. People are still upset about lions in these landscapes. And I'm sorry, but even last week, up in the West Kilimanjaro landscape, we lost several cattle, or the community members lost several cattle. And as a result, a lioness was killed. How do you feel, Elvis, when you lose a lioness and when you see community members upset about their livestock? How do you respond? What do the Warriors for Wildlife do? And how can we better support you in your efforts?
For the program, General felt very bad. Also the organization General and people who are supporting this work. Because the loss of that land made me remembering me back when we had a lot of challenges or when we started working, because it was very difficult to tell a person that we are conserving a lion because they felt lions are enemies. So the story in West Kilimanjaro, what is supposed to be done in that area according to our experience is putting more education to that community, also putting more living walls, also adding some warriors for wildlife to collect data and educating the people in that area. As I said from the beginning, as you put more living wall in the areas, the level of tolerance in the communities increases.
And as a result of the loss last week, we have been running a World Lion Day campaign. As a result of that loss and the tragic loss, both on the side of the people and the lions, we have made a commitment to double our annual installation of living walls this year as part of our matching campaign. So Elvis, your team is going to be super busy. I know it's the installation period right now, but we hope to get more resources as quickly as possible up to West Kilimanjaro. So if you are able to help out with this campaign, we greatly appreciate it. It's having an incredible impact in the landscapes where we are able to install a large number of living walls. And, you know, Elvis, Yamat, as community members, how do you feel working in conservation in your own home, in your landscape, with the people that you have grown up with? Are there challenges? You know, how do you feel?
To me, I feel really good, and because I came to learn something, which when I was young, I was afraid, and I didn't know that lions are very important to the communities and to me also. But when I started working, I realized that lions are very important to these areas. And also, I am the role model to my fellow women and my young also. So I'm proud, and as the one who is showing them the way, who is showing them and learn from me to know the importance of lions and importance of the communities, so that we can help our communities and also we can help lions to be more around our places, so that we can benefit, because since then up to now we are benefiting from the lions. There are kids who are going to school because of lions, and there are women who are getting a lot of projects and because of the lions. So I'm very proud doing this work, and I feel good.
For my side, I'm very happy because I managed to change communities' attitude concerning big cat conservation. As I know about our history, Maasai, the lions are very important to our communities. There was one time we sat down under the tree. We were discussing with elders, also the warriors, and we were deciding, should we finish all the lions in these areas, or should we save? Some of the warriors said, we have to finish all the lions. And the elder says, no, we have to keep these lions because of our culture. It's very important. As I know, if there is no lions, no warriors. So it's very important. Also, I can also, the other thing is I see that this being a part of conservation, for me, it's a good thing, because I managed to educate, to change people and see that they can live together with lions with no problems, because we tried and we managed to stop conflict between humans and lions.
I think what you both touched on is really interesting. Conservation is about partnerships. It's this partnership that we have with the community, with groups like the Tarangire Lion Project, with other NGOs, with the government here in Tanzania, with our supporters, that is really bringing all aspects of our work together and having a positive outcome for people and wildlife, because at African People and Wildlife, we're about finding the balance for communities and nature. We're very excited to be wrapping up our World Lion Day campaign on Friday. If you are able to make a contribution, please do. Please consider supporting A Living Wall. Any amount of contribution is helpful. And I really want to say thank you to you both. You are absolute role models in your community and even further, globally, for all of the incredible efforts that you're making. It's not easy work out here. We're very remote. There's a lot of challenges. Yamat, you even bring your child just to work with you, which shows incredible dedication on your own part. Elvis, you're always moving around northern Tanzania on your Piki, his motorcycle. It's really difficult work, so hats off to you guys for the incredible work that you do. Before we sign off today, we had hoped to take questions. Unfortunately, that's not going to work live today, but if you do have questions, please put them in the comments section, and we will review them later and answer them as soon as we can. We're really interested in your questions, and please reach out to us in other ways as well. So before we sign off, Yamat, Elvis, is there anything else that you would like to say to our global audience and, of course, to our Tanzanian viewers today? Maybe Elvis.
From my side, is without your support, we could not reach here. We could not have even a single lions in these areas or across all landscape we are working. So we need you to support us in doing this work. Though it's very difficult, but we can manage it.
To me, I'm really thankful to everyone, to our supporters, and I like just to say that let's move forward and let's do great things to our communities and to our livestock, to the lions and the conservation.
Thank you so much. Thank you both. Those are really great ending comments. These are difficult times in the world, and the more that we can do for our communities and for the globe as a whole together, it does make a difference. So from the Maasai Steppe, we're going to sign off. We're going to say thank you, asante, or ashe oleng. We're going to say kwaheri, sere, and goodbye from the great Maasai Steppe. Thank you all so much for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.